Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're jumping into a tool that is, frankly, a game changer for anyone in electrical engineering, SimPower Systems. I mean, have you ever wanted to build and test a really complex electrical system without all the risk and, the massive expense? Well, think of this as your very own virtual laboratory.
Just stop and think about that question for a second. How on earth do you figure out how massive transformers or miles of transmission lines are going to behave when things get rough? You can't just build it all, flip a giant switch, and just hope for the best, right? You need a way to see what's going to happen. And that's the answer. That's exactly what SimPower Systems is for. It is a crazy, comprehensive toolbox that lets you design, simulate, and analyze pretty much any electrical system you can dream up, all from your computer. It's how you test that entire city grid before a single physical wire is ever laid.
All right, so here's our plan for today. We're going to start with the big picture idea of a virtual power grid. Then we'll peek inside the toolbox itself. After that, we'll get into the essential building blocks, the power sources, the circuit components, and finally, the heavy machinery. Let's get into it.
So, first up, what can you really do with this thing? Because it's about so much more than just drawing a few circuit diagrams. It's about creating a living, breathing virtual power grid. And look, the benefits here are just huge. You can push the system to its limits to analyze stability, you can zoom all the way in to see the exact shape of a voltage waveform, and you can calculate incredibly detailed performance metrics. You get this entire world of deep analysis, and the best part, it's all done completely safely inside a simulation.
Okay, enough talk. Let's actually get our hands dirty. How do we start building one of these virtual systems? It's time to open up the toolbox and see how a project really kicks off.
And you know what? It's way easier than you might think. Once you're in MATLAB, you just open up Simulink, go to File, New, Model, and boom. Just like that, you're looking at a fresh, blank canvas.
And this is where all the magic happens. This one empty window holds so much potential. You could build anything from a tiny circuit with a few resistors and capacitors to a full-blown model of an entire nation's power grid. It all starts right here. Now, to fill up that canvas, we need our components. And we find them all right here in the Simulink library browser. So if the blank model is our canvas, this is our complete set of paints and brushes. And you can see SimPower Systems right there, ready to go. Let's grab our first set of components. I mean, every single circuit, I don't care how simple or complex it is, it needs a source of power. It's the spark of creation, right? So let's explore the electrical sources library. And wow, right off the bat, you can see you've got options. We're not just talking about a simple battery. You've got AC, DC, controlled sources that can change on the fly, and even the big three-phase sources that are the absolute backbone of any industrial power system. So here we have the two absolute fundamentals, right? On the left, you've got your DC source. Think of a battery. It provides a constant, steady voltage. And on the right, the AC source, which gives you that oscillating, sinusoidal power that comes out of the outlets in your home. But it gets so much cooler than that. Controlled sources, for instance, let you dynamically change the voltage based on something else happening in your simulation. The three-phase source is absolutely essential for modeling things like big industrial motors. And the programmable source, that lets you simulate really complex events, like seeing how a grid might react to a sudden fault or a surge. So we have power. Now we need stuff to do something with that power. It's time to check out the real building blocks of our circuits, and we find those in the Elements library. And this is where you really see just how much is packed into this toolbox. You've got all the basics, of course, resistors, capacitors, inductors, but you also have incredibly complex components like multi-winding transformers, circuit breakers for protection studies, and even super detailed models for long-distance power transmission lines. Let's just pick one of the most critical components out there, the transformer. In SimPower Systems, it looks like this nice, clean, simple block. But being able to accurately model this one device is absolutely crucial for designing stable power grids and, preventing blackouts. But this is where things get really cool. If you look under the hood of that simple-looking transformer block, you find this, a detailed equivalent circuit that models all the real-world physics, like winding resistances, inductances, and the magnetic core. The simulation isn't just faking it. It's based on fundamental principles. Okay, here's a quick but really important distinction you'll run into. The easiest way to think about it is that a load block is the appliance. It's the factory, the motor, the device that's actually using the power. A branch, on the other hand, represents the wires and components delivering that power, all the passive resistors, inductors, and capacitors that make up the network itself. All right, so we've got our power sources, and we've got all these circuit components to connect them. Now it's time to get to the real workhorses of the electrical world, the machines that turn all that electrical energy into actual motion. And here it is, the machines library. This is where we get into the stuff that actually moves. You have synchronous machines like the massive generators and power plants. You've got asynchronous motors, also called induction motors, that run pretty much all of our industries. And of course, the classic DC machines. Let's just focus on the DC machine for a second. And again, notice how it's represented by this simple, clean block. But don't let that fool you. This single block contains the entire electromechanical behavior of a DC motor or a generator. It's all in there. So how does it work? Well, it's pretty intuitive. You supply electrical power to the armature and field windings, and then you tell it how much mechanical work it needs to do with the load torque input. And in return, the output port gives you this perfect little vector with everything you need to know. How fast it's spinning, the current flowing through it, and the torque it's producing. It's all right there for you. And the same kind of power and versatility extends to the other machines too. The asynchronous machine block, for example, is just as awesome. And here's a really cool detail. You can make it act as a motor or a generator just by changing the sign of the mechanical torque you apply. A positive torque means it's a motor, and a negative torque, well, that means it's acting as a generator and sending power back. Super clever, right? So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of this absolutely incredible virtual lab. We've seen the power sources that bring things to life, the components that build the network, and the machines that do the real work. It's a complete toolbox for electrical innovation. So the only real question left is, what would you build?